What is up, everybody? I hope everybody is doing well today. Welcome back to the Daily Zest. I am your host, Randi Hipper, back at it today. There is so much drama. All I can say is, wow, what the actual friggy poo is going on right now? My heart is so heavy. I want to just say hi to everybody in the chat. Hello, everybody in the chat. If you're new to the channel or you're here all the time, then thank you for coming all the time. I appreciate you. Please like, subscribe, share this stream out with friends because alpha is going to be dropped. Emotions are going to be had today because, woo! Yesterday was frustrating to watch with the whole SBF thing. Before we jump into SBF, I have so much to uncover. It's crazy how much news goes down in 24 hours in crypto. I mean, the weekly Zest was cool, but I love the daily Zest and that I get to talk to you guys every day, Monday to Thursday, to break it all down. Hello to everybody in the chat. Randy, Colin, Menho, nice to see you. MK, Kenny, Armani, Yar for Armani. I don't know if you guys know how much I love Armani. Armani was commenting on my good morning tweets so early on in my like tweeter career, I guess, right? He's super cool. So much love to Armani. If you can in the chat, type Yar in honor of Armani. Something music. I can't read it because it's like my thing is like auto correcting your funky letters. But nice to see you. Everyone's really cool. Daddy-o. Thank you all for coming. Please, if you're here watching, like, subscribe, share it out with friends. Yes, you are a day one OG, Armani. If you have any questions, throw them in the chat. I'm gonna try my best to get to them. There's something that's right off the press that I really can't wait to get into. You know what? I'm just gonna start the news. I'm getting into it. I'm not even chatting right now. I'm so excited. Wow. Can you imagine how much drama? It's like real life. It's like high school lasts your whole life with all this drama that's going on. As always, before we jump into all the drama, I'm going to take a look at the general landscape of the markets. Let me do that. There we go. Coin market cap today, as always, trending. We have Bitcoin, we have Sol, we have Ethereum for many reasons. But first up, Bitcoin, past 24 hours, up 0.63%, literally nothing going on. Ethereum, 0.02% in the last 24 hours, still not a lot going on. This isn't even what I want to talk about. I don't even want to talk about price action because it's irrelevant to my mind right now. Elon Musk. You know, he was battling Apple the other day. We were covering it. We were talking all about it. Elon was battling Apple, saying, I will make my own Apple if you do not stop this madness. He then posts yesterday, Elon, thanks Tim Cook for taking me around Apple's beautiful HQ. A reminder, Tim Cook is Apple's CEO, if you guys didn't know. There's a little Elon taking his video of the Apple HQ. He then proceeds to write, good conversation. Among other things, we resolved the misunderstanding about Twitter potentially being removed from the App Store. Tim was clear that Apple never considered doing so. Spicy conversation. They hung out. I guess Tim Cook is pro free speech. In addition, their relationship is confirmed on Twitter because now Elon is following Tim Cook. This account then tweeted that Tim Cook was following Elon. So if they are Twitter friends, you know this is for real. However, we have to pay attention to the fact that the other day when Elon was calling out Apple 3 days ago, Elon said, did you know Apple puts a 30% tax on everything you buy through their Apple store? Yes, we do know that because when NFTs were initially popping off, a lot of NFT gamers wanted to make their games mobile. And of course, you have to go through the gatekeepers of Google Play and the Apple App Store. Apple wanted to take 30% of all NFT sales. On top of that, they didn't really want you to use the NFTs. It was really weird how they put it in their terms and conditions as to where you could purchase an NFT, but the NFT can't do anything and it can't have utility. So it's literally the same thing as Web 2. Apple does not want this to go down. I'm surprised they even spoke. What's going on in here? Yeah, we do respect the TA. Yeah, thank you for coming. Mitray's a cool dude. I'm upset. And you know what happened next? This is right 33 minutes ago. So I was just scrolling through Twitter right before I came on with you guys. concerning this 30% tax. Coinbase Wallet, and Coinbase Wallet we talked about yesterday, they did delist Bitcoin Cash, XRP, XLM, and Ethereum Classic due to low usage in their Coinbase Wallet. So the past few days, Coinbase Wallet has been under some sort of fire. They then proceed to tweet this 33 minutes ago. You might have noticed you can't send NFTs on Coinbase Wallet iOS anymore. This is because Apple blocked our last app release until we disabled the feature. Apple claims is that the gas fees required to send NFTs need to be paid through their in-app purchase system so that they can collect 30% of the gas fee. Obviously, that's not how the blockchain works. Coinbase even said that. For anyone who understands how NFTs and blockchains work, this is clearly not possible. Apple's proprietary in-app purchase system does not support crypto, so we couldn't comply even if we tried. This is akin to Apple's trying to take over. Oh, poop. There we go. To take a cut of fees for every email that gets sent over open internet protocols. Yes, Apple's a gatekeeper. Apple wants to take all the money. The biggest impact from this policy change is on iPhone users that own NFTs. If you hold an NFT in a wallet on an iPhone, Apple just made it a lot harder to transfer that NFT to other wallets or gift it to friends and family. Simply put, Apple has introduced new policies to protect their profits at the expense of consumer investment in NFTs and developer innovation across the crypto ecosystem. We hope this is an oversight on Apple's behalf and an inflection point for further conversations with the ecosystem. At Apple, we're here and want to help. Guys, please give me your thoughts. Apple is straight up rugging Coinbase NFT users. This is also why, we have to have a better way. We need to have better wallets that aren't reliant on a Chrome extension, that aren't reliant on the App Store. Of course, there's ways to do that, but it's just difficult. It's hard. For the everyday person, they're trying to block everyone from coming into crypto. They don't want to bridge the gap. Armani said, that's why I stay in Android. Apple on some data collection nonsense. Pretty much. And I was thinking of getting an Android as well. I really love my iPhone. Don't get me wrong. I've had Apple my entire phone career. However, I'm being gatekept right now. Why can we not use NFTs? If Tim Cook is pro free speech, he should be pro crypto, because what is better to represent freedom and, censorship resistance than cryptocurrency? This is a problem. Even Armani saying in the chat, Google and Samsung for the win. Are we really for the win there? Do you think Google and the Google Play Store will go by what Apple says? And if Apple blocks Twitter from the App Store eventually, or they're blocking NFTs, do you think Google will follow the way? That's my question. I don't know. Even though Google is a little bit more crypto forward, they run a ton of nodes and whatever, but this is something I really thought was important, wanted to bring to your attention, because I don't think it's fair that Apple just gets to do that and we can't really do anything about it because they're gatekeeping this whole thing. Google won't follow Apple. I hope not. In other news, Telegram has been putting out stuff for a long time talking about their TON token, and they are to build a DEX, a decentralized crypto exchange, and a wallet. And I believe this is going to be self-custodial. So the messaging app is pushing ahead. So the messaging app Telegram has sold $50 million in usernames in less than a month through its blockchain-based auction platform, Fragment, they said on Wednesday. The figure speaks to the success of Telegram's second go-around at bootstrapping its own crypto infrastructure. Fragment is built atop of the Telegram Open Network, aka TON, a blockchain Durov, which is the CEO, abandoned under regulatory pressure in 2020 and later returned to it after its community kept it alive. I remember this whole thing happening. TON was coming out, they were going all with it, and then all of a sudden they got in trouble and they had to shut it down, but people really wanted this to continue, and it seems as though they're doing that. So basically, this is really cool. And the CEO even said cryptocurrency users should switch to trustless transaction and self-hosted wallets so don't rely on any single third party. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. At least somebody freaking gets it. Now, this is something that I was thinking about. If Telegram is going that way, do you think, because Elon's thinking of encrypted messaging and DMs within Twitter, maybe Telegram can merge with Twitter in some sort of way. I am a fan of Telegram. If you guys actually want, I have a Telegram group that I think is pretty fun and zesty. So I'm going to drop the link to that in the chat. It's called Miss Teen Zesty Chat. Feel free to join it. I am a fan of Telegram. Armani, BRB to you too. Again, if you're here, please smash the likes and show some love. We have some more news. I wanted to throw that in there. I thought that was somewhat bullish. On top of that, Uniswap is getting into the NFT game. As you can see, they have their marketplace all up over here. This was just announced yesterday. NFTs are officially live on Uniswap starting today. You can trade NFTs across major marketplaces and find more listings and better prices. We're also airdropping 5 million USDC to historical Genie users and offering gas rebates to the first 22,000 buyers. So there's a lot going on with the Uniswap thing. People were airdropped some USDC. Again, I wasn't really into the nitty gritty of this. This is just something I really wanted to talk about. I think it's pretty huge. Uniswap has been continuously working, and they really kicked off DeFi, I think, in terms of like DEXs. They were the first major DEX I remember hearing of, especially when I first was on crypto Twitter. This is what I was hearing about a lot, was Uniswap. So I thought that was pretty cool for some NFT non-fungible token news. On top of that, Porsche is now getting into the game. They put this out 2 days ago, but I forgot to put it on here yesterday, so I put it on here today. Porsche is getting into the NFT game. There's going to be 150K design combinations to unlock when you can create your 911 NFT. The website is nft.porsche.com. Thought that was pretty interesting. On top of that, if you're not bullish on the metaverse, at least somebody is. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg is still long-term optimistic on the metaverse. He was at the DealBook Summit talking about it yesterday. Oh, what an iconic summit this one was. He said, "The way we communicate gets richer and more immersive," Zuckerberg said, doubling down on his company's bet on a virtual and augmented reality-dominated future. The company has come under criticism for generating billions of dollars of losses as it builds out its version of the metaverse. However, Zuckerberg admitted that Meta would need to operate with more efficiency and discipline in the near term because of macroeconomic woes have forced the company to scale back on spending. I feel like that's everybody. At least Mark Zuckerberg is still passionate about the metaverse at some extent. I think this should be pushing others to build. I think there's going to be other metaverses in the future. We're just getting started with this. Let me know if you guys are interested in Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse? I do know he's working on augmented reality, virtual reality. The things that he's working on are pretty impressive. However, it is Facebook. They're going to track everything. The Oculus, even, I have one. It sees everything you're doing. So nice to see you guys. I see Mr. NC is in the chat. Hi, Chad. Nice to see you. Yes, I am giving you the zesty news out here, good or bad. I'm just letting you know what's going on. That's my job. Nice to see you, Marky Mark. 10-minute crypto. Nice to see you. Yeah, let me know. What do you guys think about Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse? I'm pretty skeptical of the whole thing. I wonder how the blockchain integrations would even look in Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse. It would be something centralized? I know they were Facebook actually did have a project at one point that just didn't survive. Hi, Mark Rowe. Good to see you. I have something to do soon, so I do have to get through this news, but I do love sitting and talking with you guys. The FTX contagion, it continues. This is endless. Sheesh. Endless. Everything is tied in together. I find it so weird. BlackRock CEO, he was at the New York Times Summit yesterday. He was saying that the firm invested $24 million in FTX before the exchange collapsed. Speaking at the conference, he also said it looked like there were misbehaviors in FTX, but wouldn't speculate on whether BlackRock and venture capital firm Sequoia, which invested $214 million in FTX and has since marked that down to zero, were misled by FTX. When these people are experienced, they know what's up, and they just got misled by FTX, and where did all this money go? That investment alone was $214 million. Please tell me where that money went. Maybe in some fancy real estate. And we even talked about this as well last week. FTX still owes its top 50 creditors more than $3 billion and has an estimate of 1 million creditors in total. So he has 1 million creditors, owes more than $3 billion. That's so much money. Where did all of this go? On top of that, you have all the people like you and I that were I wasn't personally on FTX, but regular people were just investing and putting their money on this. Where did it all go? This New York Times conference got me zestified, and not in the good way. I was upset watching it. And it was not because of, this situation, which is annoying itself, this whole FTX situation. It shouldn't have happened. The way Sam just couldn't answer the questions that were being asked, I don't know. This is Autism Capital. Thank you for this thread, by the way. I was watching the live stream here. I don't think we could go back to it now because it has a paywall. Wow, it's actually letting me on here. So basically, Sam Bankman Fried was saying that he's had a bad month. People were laughing at him. He was saying, at the end of the day, I had a duty to everyone. The customers, the regulators, the employees, and I clearly didn't do a good job on that. I did not intend to commit fraud on anyone. There are things I wish I've done differently. Oh, you didn't mean it, but you did it. So what happens now? The poor kid couldn't even answer any questions. He was looking around. He was stuttering so much. He couldn't get the answers out. I felt like I felt bad in a way. I was just like, why can't he get this all out? I don't know. And of course, this is what's going to make everything better. Sam said, I'm deeply sorry about what happened. Our U.S. platform, to my knowledge, is fully solvent. I believe withdrawals could be opened up today for that, and users could be made whole. The international platform is blah, blah, blah. Then he goes into leverage, blah, and how margin systems work. He was literally giving us a course on what crypto was last night. This quote is what I found particularly interesting. He tweeted this at 10:51. This was like a little over an hour, 20 minutes ago. He said, expanding on Dealbook, this is SBF. When I filed for Chapter 11, he's talking about, I'm fairly sure FTX US was solvent and that all US customers could be made whole. To my knowledge, it still is today. I was expecting that to happen. I'm surprised it hasn't. I'm not sure why US withdrawals were turned off. If you were in control, then how? And why aren't US customers made whole? If we're so safe, then why didn't they just turn it back on? That is so sus to me. That is so sus. We're going to get, Skeeter, we're going to get into BitBoy. Trust me, bro. We're going to get into that. I was on a space with him this morning. Why? If FTX US is solvent, then open the doors. Let us grab our money back. But something else is happening there. And of course, that's going to come out at some point. There were a few other quotes that just Sam was saying, while he was like all King Sam, that one of his talents was risk management. He was saying yesterday, massive oversight, risk management, and failure of oversight. I did not knowingly commingle funds. Not knowingly, you had to sign off on everything. He even brings up Caroline, Andrew Sorkin, and he asked Sam why Caroline was telling employees that FTX used user funds. Sam says, what it seems happened is in the middle of the year, all the borrow lending desks blew up. And he literally did not answer any of these questions. He did not answer any questions. Watching this, I was just like, why? Andrew was asking some of the good questions, but then Sam would go around them, not answer them, and then Andrew would move on instead of revisiting it. Sam was saying, while he was like all King Sam, that one of his talents was risk management. He was saying yesterday, massive oversight, risk management, and failure of oversight. Sam was saying, I feel embarrassed to have made a mistake. I understand the scale of a market crash. I didn't anticipate how correlated things could be. How? This interview was probably the most frustrating one to listen to. At the end of it, I want to find the last quote because this was just amazing. Did you do round trip deals where companies invested in you and you invested back in them? Sam's like, I don't know. We did what we did. What kind of answer is that? On top of that, he was, prescribed various medications. When asked about VCs, he couldn't answer the questions. This was probably one of the most frustrating things I ever had to watch. And I felt like nothing was answered. And maybe BitBoy got rugged a little bit. Daddy-O, SBF is sworn to secrecy. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised because throughout the entire thing, he was looking around. He looked confused. He actually disconnected when he was asked about the VCs. I think it was this quote right here around this. When Andrew said, did none of the VCs ask you about your risk management systems? Something like this. And then he disconnected completely for a little bit. Extremely sus. And then when asked about his parents, Andrew Sorkin was like, oh, how do your parents feel? Did you tell them about it? How did you tell them? He couldn't even recall how he told his parents about the situation. What confused me is, wasn't his parents behind a lot of this? We were reading about the real estate and everything that they were involved with. How did his parents not know if they were the ones signing off? They had their names on papers and everything. Then I see this. Good Morning America said last night that they were going to sit down with SBF for another fluff interview. They sat down this morning and Sam said, quote, I expect I'm going to have nothing at the end of this. Sam claims yesterday and today on GMA and the New York Times saying that he only has $100,000 in his bank account. When you have billions of dollars from all of these investors. On top of that, there were so many people that were continuously investing in him. People still believed in him. Well, there was a part in this that I thought was really interesting where he was straight up just not answering the questions.
He said, if I were him, I'd be afraid of going to jail for a long time.
At the end of the day, it's not my call what happens, and the world will judge me as it will.
Are you worried about going to jail?
There are a lot of things that are worrying me right now. And, as best as possible, I'm trying to focus on what I can do going forward to be helpful and, let whatever, regulatory and legal processes are happening play out as I will.
I do want to move on, but just finally on
Yep.
this. This is really a yes or no question.
Yep.
Carolyn Ellison says you knew that FTX funds were being funneled to Alameda. Did you know that?
I knew that there is an open margin position there and that involved
I know, but that's not what I'm
$1.
asking. If she's in court and you're in court and she's under oath and you're under
Yep.
oath and you're asked, did you know that these funds were being funneled to Alameda, what is your answer?
I did not know that there is any improper use of customer funds.
You also took out a $1 billion.
I just wanted to play that little bit for you guys to express where I'm coming from a little bit. He's not worried about going to jail. He wouldn't answer that question. On top of that, the host had to go back and retrace and literally say, you're not answering my question about talking about Alameda using users' funds. You understand why that was frustrating to watch. Like, he just didn't know what to say. And I'm going to drop this link for you guys to watch as well, because there were a lot of times during it where he was just looking down, repeating the question in his head, and just saying whatever answer he could. I really don't know if he knows what's going on. This was so crazy to me. I cannot express how weird this was to watch. We essentially have no answers. However, one of our friends, BitBoy, Ben Armstrong, was trying to get answers. He went to the Bahamas, was at this boy's door saying, hey, we want answers. Remember when we covered this? November 28th, Ben Armstrong tweeted, breaking news, SBF and I have agreed to do a Twitter Spaces within the next 2 weeks. He has unblocked me on Twitter now so that you can confirm we've spoken. I look forward to getting the answers to the questions the community must have to move forward. Everybody was excited about this. All of a sudden, this Mario Nawfal guy is getting SBF on Twitter Spaces today. Maybe I think it's right now even. New York Times got to Sam first. Then Good Morning America got to Sam first. Ben low-key got rugged in this situation. Ben can't even get a date and time from the kid. He tweets today, right before we went on a few hours ago. Ben tweeted, who wants to see my screenshots of my talk with Sam? Going to release them by the end of the day if he doesn't give me a date and time. Ben was saying previously he was not going to post the screenshots because he wanted to keep some good peace, have Sam do the interview. Now Sam is not even getting back to him. BitBoy low-key got rugged. That is crazy. We want to ask the questions that matter. We want to get the answers that matter. Are we going to get that? I don't know. Now, what BitBoy is saying is that he wants to start and maybe have people go down and protest in the Bahamas. Do you guys think that should happen? I don't know what needs to happen anymore. It feels like this kid's just safe, that he's not worried. He's going on a whole PR tour to talk about how everything's okay. And you know what? He still has people that believe in him. Kevin O'Leary, this guy Bill, let's start with Bill. This guy Bill Ackman tweets, call me crazy, but I think SBF is telling the truth. He says that yesterday. Kevin O'Leary retweets it last night and says, I lost millions as an investor in FTX and got sandblasted as a paid spokesperson for the firm. But after listening to that interview, I'm in the Bill Ackman camp about the kid. So Kevin O'Leary is still backing SBF, although Ben Armstrong and others have called out Kevin O'Leary for being involved in FTX to a weird capacity and knowing about this. Why are they still supporting FTX? Why are they still supporting Sam Bankman Fried? Well, at least Sam appreciates it. He comments under Bill's tweet and says, I deeply appreciate that. I messed up. I'm going to do everything I can to make it right, even though I knew it might never be enough. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? That's so confusing to me. I messed up. I'm sorry. But where's everyone's money, man? How can we make everyone whole again? If FTX US users could get their funds back, then where are their funds? I want to go see what the chat's saying. I'm so frustrated. It seems he's messing around. Yeah, it seems, honestly, with that, remember guys, that thread that SBF put out, like the letter by letter, like it literally feels like we're being trolled. It feels like we're being trolled. Crazy. Absolutely insane. He's hiding the money in the property. I don't know, man. I really don't know. It's almost as if it was just collusion. Absolute collusion. His parents were involved. They had regulators involved. How deep does this really go? On top of that, the Attorney General of the Bahamas was involved with Deltec Bank, who also Ben Armstrong is trying to get in touch with, get an interview with. Ben Armstrong actually gave Deltec Bank questions that they couldn't get back to. Everybody's involved in this. So if everybody is involved, if people at a political extent are involved, this is major power. Now, what happens next? Do they even go to jail? Because it seems like they're not worried. It's almost as if Sam is having a little bit of a pity party for himself, that he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I messed up, but how do we fix the situation? Are people going to get their money back? 10-minute crypto, yes, this does go pretty deep. But how deep does it go? And depending on the depth of his whole situation, could it ever get resolved? People are saying in the chat that maybe he could sell his properties, but are the properties even his anymore? Apparently some of them aren't even in his name. Apparently company properties are with his parents, and his parents were staying on company properties. This is deeper than we go. Yes, Gensler SEC deep. Who knows? Who knows how deep this can go? All I know, and I say it all the time, so you might be sick of it by now, but all I know is that the blockchain still works. Bitcoin still works. I could still transact peer-to-peer right now. I don't need anyone to tell me what to do. I could just send any money to anyone in this chat, no matter where you are in the world, as long as I have an internet connection. Now, people are misled by this FTX situation, thinking that this is bad for crypto. It's bad for the sentiment of right now. However, we will rebuild. People are building right now. You see Telegram trying to step in and say, hey, we need a decentralized exchange. We need to transact peer-to-peer. That's what we need. Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, the blockchain, it's all still here. Let me just remind you, it's all still here. It's not going anywhere. Not at all. Not at all. I love this space because even though there are people like this in it, we get to filter them out. We get to have this history of saying we got rid of all these bad actors. If everything was all happy in crypto, right? If everything went smoothly all the time, then this space would not be progressing the way it should. We wouldn't have the innovations we have. We need things like this to go down so that way we can rebuild, we can restructure, and build a better system than the system that preceded us. Exactly, Will. Shows we need more decentralization. This is a huge push for DEXs, which is why I really like what Telegram's doing. We need decentralization. We need self-sovereignty. We need to fill this educational gap. Please, tweet about Bitcoin. Tell your friends about Bitcoin. Don't start off with, oh, you can make money, because that's not what this space is about. Of course, people can make money. Of course, something could 100x. But what we need to focus on is the revolution that this space has. Peer-to-peer, decentralized finance, to where people in other countries that can't have a bank account could connect to the internet and be a part of an economy that's permissionless, that's trustless, that we are in control of. That's what matters. Hinkowitz. DEX or bust. The more people use centralized exchanges, the more problems will occur. They operate like banks, fractional reserve paper derivatives. That's the problem, that people were treating exchanges like banks, and we can't do that anymore. And this is what has taught us that. To the average person, FTX looked great. They had Tom Brady. They had a stadium. How would you have known all this deep corruption was going in? You wouldn't have known. That's why we need to fill that educational gap. Tell people about self-custody. Take your coins off of an exchange. I posted a video, a short. It's on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, everywhere that your mother is. I posted it. And I was talking about dollar cost averaging and to take crypto off of the exchange once you have a certain amount of money that you consider a lot. Never trust anyone but yourself. I love exchanges. What they do to help people get into the ecosystem is amazing. We need that. We need to be able to have a nice entry point or a nice way for people to accumulate their crypto. However, we need to remind people that once you have a lot of money, you have to withdraw. You have to withdraw. Only use exchanges what they're meant for. You're actively trading, keep your crypto on the exchange, but do note that maybe you could lose that. People were actively trading on FTX and then they couldn't get their funds off. Mr. NC, doing it right. All my crypto is on a hardware wallet, as you should. Look into hardware wallets. Anything could fall. Anything can fall. Do not trust anybody but yourself. Be your own bank. I cannot say it enough. Clip this. Spread it out everywhere. Be your own bank. Don't trust anyone but yourself. Stay self-sovereign. This space is so amazing. People are continuously building. Trust me, Big money is still coming into this space. More things are being developed than we even know about right now. Stay calm, hodl on. We're all going to make it. Trust me, we're all going to make it. Crypto has been dead so many times. All this FUD with all these central banks talking about Bitcoin, that's amazing. Let them talk smack about Bitcoin while they go and create their CBDC to literally counteract what they're saying so that they can say, oh, Bitcoin sucks. But here's our CBDC. And then people get educated on what a CBDC is. So then they could go get into crypto. That's it. That's the end of the story, my friends. This is a wrap for the Daily Zest this week, the first ever week of the Daily Zest. Thank you to everybody that tuned in this past week. I am so grateful for every single one of you that tune in, hang out with me, smash those likes, that comment after the show, because that means so much to me as well. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking part in this. Thank you for being in crypto. Everybody, you are here for a reason. Do not ever doubt the reason that you're here. That's it. We did our research. We don't care what the news says. We don't care what the institutions say because we know the future. We know what the future is, and that's self-sovereignty, that's being your own bank, and that's being a zesty individual like you are. Thank you for the positive stuff in the chat. I appreciate you so much. Again, if you enjoyed this, smash the like, subscribe, comment after this is over. I will be back later at 4 p.m. Eastern with Hotep Jesus, my guy. I love him. I cannot wait to hang out with him. We're going to learn all about Hotep. Hang out with us, 4 p.m. Eastern today, a few hours away. Make sure you hit that bell button so you get notifications when I go live. Catch me next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 12 p.m. Eastern, the Daily Zest coming at you. I'll see you 4 p.m. today and 4 p.m. tomorrow. Thank you again. You guys are so amazing. And as always, you know what I'm going to say. You guys are saying it already in the chat, which makes me so happy. Have a great day. And as always, stay zesty. Peace.